Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, the all-new Durban, if you will. Bartram Springs, well, we're about a driver, and actually probably off the deck with another driver as well as we are in Bartram, Mellow Mushroom. And I tell you what, place is already packed, and I will say this. This is one of my favorite bars in Jacksonville, one of my favorite restaurants in Jacksonville. It's right down the road from where I live, and it's a great bar area. It's got like the Cheers-like bar, okay? And, you know, these $4 pints of Miller Lite are just staring at me right now at a couple minutes past 6 o'clock saying, drink me, drink me, drink me, drink me. I will not do that until 8 o'clock tonight, but that's what's going on. We do want to thank the good folks at Miller Lite. It is their party, and so far, I mean, I'm looking. We haven't even begun the show, and we've already got about 15 to 20 people who have signed up to try to win tickets for the game on Sunday between Jacksonville and Kansas City. We're going to announce this late in the 7 o'clock hour. So come on by. These are all of a sudden, and let's be honest, there's been some stinkers over the years, right? Some games where the Jaguars have not played well, and it's like, yeah, you know, trying to give these. All of a sudden, I mean, just look. Look at the market right now and how much these tickets are actually going for on Sunday. This is an enormous gift, and it's compliments of Miller Lite. We certainly do thank them. The Miller Lite girls are here, all right, Sierra and Rena. They're out handing out all sorts of swag. Yeah, I love it. They're smiling. They're happy. They love their Miller Lite. They love their Jaguars. So what more could you ask for? Come on by. We're going to be here out at Mellow Mushroom from right now up until 8 o'clock. Again, we're out in Bartram, so we invite you to come on out, say hello, and obviously register to win a couple of tickets for the Jaguars matchup Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs. A game we'll have for you right here on these airwaves, 1010 on the AM, 92.5 on the FM, pregame, in-game, postgame, everything that is the Jaguars. That is what we are going to do coming up this Sunday. Tim Brando's 15 minutes away. Apparently he is on his way. He's got TCU in Houston, so he's in his vehicle right now. So we're gonna ring up Timmy B in our weekly conversation with Tim Brando of Fox Sports. Most of our attention is obviously going to be on the game that is coming up tomorrow night, or make that Saturday night, in the Swamp. And something's got to give here for Tennessee. They are the better team. Can they get something going offensively? They're horrible on third down. Even against Austin Peay last week, I want to say that they were 24% on third down. Joe Milton's a guy that's gone viral, and we see it all. You know, he can throw the ball 100 yards, but he's only completed a couple of passes that are more than 10 yards in length so far this year. And we do know that Florida has an aggressive style of defense, and they're going to dial up blitzes and try to affect Joe Milton in that particular way. And on the flip side, if they can settle down a little bit in this game, and I think if Florida wins, the low-scoring affair is what is best for them. Is this a game where they can run the football? They were unable to run the football against Utah. With the two great backs that the Gators have, will they be able to run at Tennessee coming up on Saturday night? I mean, you look at Billy Napier, he's 7-8 in his career. He's 0 for 4, if you will, against the rivals, right? Tennessee, Georgia, Florida State. Who did I miss out? I guess LSU. Okay, they haven't won a big one yet. This may be his best opportunity. Okay, and it's a week-to-week basis. Who knows about LSU? Who knows about, although Georgia here should be a slaughter. You know, Florida State's got to go there late in the year. You always wonder about injuries, but it's a big game for Napier, you know, to get his first real big W against a rival. And Tennessee, I mean, what an absolute disaster They haven't won there since 2003. And no matter who you are, there are ups and downs. Georgia experienced it for the most part pre-Mark Richt. Florida State has experienced it. Florida has experienced it. Miami has experienced it. But none of those schools have succumbed, have gone into a total turtle the way that Tennessee has against Florida. And, of course, before last year, Tennessee had lost 16 of 17. It's now 16 of 18, but they have not won in the Swamp since 2003. That is totally, absolutely embarrassing. There's no other way to say it. What's going to happen for Tennessee? Are they going to be able to find their way through Florida? So Tim Brando, in about 10 minutes, he's coming up. We are going to talk extensively about that. Later in the program, Dave Campo. First time I've had a chance to talk with Dave Campo since the regular season is or has gotten underway. Really want to spend a lot of time on the defense here for Jacksonville. What he saw a week ago, what he liked, what he disliked. How do you slow down Travis Kelce? How do you get to Patrick Mahomes? Something to keep in mind when you look at Kansas City. They have two totally new tackles this year. You're obviously aware of Juwan Taylor, okay, but they went out as well and brought in Donovan Smith from Tampa Bay. They had two different tackles one season ago with Orlando Brown and Andrew Wiley. 7 quarterback hits last week for Detroit, okay? 44% of the time when Patrick Mahomes dropped back, he was pressured. Now, you may look at the sack statistic, and many do, 0. So on the surface, you're going to say, all right, the offensive line did a nice job. There were no sacks on Patrick Mahomes. Not necessarily true. Almost half the time that he dropped back, Detroit got pressure. And again, they did get to him. How is Jacksonville going to be able to do this? Does Kansas City have the running backs to make it more of a balanced attack? They certainly did not. Last Thursday night against Detroit, I mean, combined, both backs had 14 carries and averaged less than 4 yards per. So that is going to be, one of the major storylines in this game. Dave Campo later in the show, Ben Barch starting left guard later in the show. Then we'll go up to Las Vegas. We'll check the money and take a look at everything that is happening in college and pro football as far as line movement. All right, better news today for the Jaguars along the offensive line. On a limited basis, Luke Fortner did practice today after not practicing yesterday. Brandon Sheriff did practice today after not practicing yesterday. My gut tells me Sunday, Fortner goes, Sheriff doesn't. I don't know. It's a guess. We'll see. But I think that that's the way it's going to end up being. That's better news for Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville getting healthier throughout the course of the week. I do believe that if this was a playoff game, Brandon Sheriff would be playing. I don't think you have to force it in week 2. There's just way too much football that needs to be played. So that's my guess. And I may end up being dead wrong on this. We'll see. I don't think we'll actually know about either one of the two until 90 minutes before a kick. But I'll say that, Fortner gives it a go. And unfortunately for Brandon Sheriff, he does not get an opportunity to give it a go. All right. Before we head to our first break, and before we bring in Tim Brando, I got to bring up something that I did earlier today that has really created a firestorm here in town. I was sending out a bunch of trends and a bunch of betting ways to look at this game, historically speaking, between Kansas City and Jacksonville. In the midst of doing that, I said in home openers, Kansas City has knocked out Jacksonville starting quarterbacks. Okay, 2013, they knocked out Blaine Gabbert. They knocked out Nick Foles in 2019. I tweeted it out, and I understand the mean streets of Twitter. I accept the mean streets of Twitter. But it was totally misconstrued. A lot of people have taken this as if I'm trying to jinx Trevor Lawrence and openly hoping that he gets hurt on Sunday. Aaron Rodgers went down. You've heard me forever say, I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. I never want to see anyone get hurt. Why in the hell would I want to see Trevor Lawrence get hurt? I mean, I do 300 shows a year and talk about the Jaguars every day, and almost every show I make the point how I want you as Jaguar fans to be happy. Why would you think I would have that in me to wish ill on anyone? I don't have the patience or the wherewithal to fight on Twitter. I'm just going to tell you this. If you want to come after me on it, and the best way to do it is on our text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures, that's fine. I can handle it, okay? I can take a punch. But if you really believe that that's what I want to see happen, you are beyond stupid. There's no other way for me to say it. Absolutely no other way. If you think that I'm trying to jinx Trevor Lawrence to get hurt on Sunday. That is absolutely crazy. All right, opening comments brought to you tonight and every night by the good folks over at Shmunez Vision. And Shmunez Vision, located out at the beach. You're talking about Dr. Neo Shmunez, more than 37 years worth of experience. They're a family organization. They focus on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Again, I had surgery on my right eye almost 9 years ago now. I just went in one afternoon, normal checkup. He said, man, you need surgery tomorrow. And that's exactly what did occur. There have been no setbacks. Everything has been fantastic. So this is much more than just going in and getting an eye examination. We're talking about medical and surgical as well. And they're really your one-stop with everything that is your eyes. Dr. Catherine Shmunez, fellowship trained in cornea, cataract surgery, or refractive surgery, and ask yourself about laser eye surgery, which unfortunately, because of what happened to me 9 years ago, I'm not a candidate for. You may be. And just think about the rest of your days, never having to deal with contacts, glasses, readers. It's just a straight 2020 for the remainder of your life. Sounds pretty cool to me. Get and check them out at shmunezvision.com. That's your best bet, shmunezvision.com, or set up an appointment at 299-2906. Shmunez Vision Care. You can see. Come on out and say hello. My goodness, is this place busy early on. What a great crowd. I do want to single out Sierra and Rena, who are doing a phenomenal job as our Miller Lite girls, handing out swag, keeping everyone here happy. You can also register for tickets for the game on Sunday between the Jags and the Chiefs. I'll give out 2 later in the program. And, of course, we have $4 draft pints. What are they doing there? Are you handing out shots of Miller Lite? Is that what's going on there? All right. Well, I mean, this is the place to be. Take a photo of that, Graham, and let's put that on our 1010XL Twitter page. All right, we got plenty to do. Let's get it started with Tim Brando. On the other side, he's with Fox Sports, and he goes into the night with Rick Ballou.
Sometimes the most important position in sports needs a translator.
I'm Denny Thompson, and they call me the quarterback whisperer.
He shares his insights Friday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Hey, bourbon lovers. Tim Pearson here, founder of Chattanooga Whiskey, the only Tennessee high malt. Now that it's football season, we have the perfect team lineup for you with our award-winning bourbons, Chattanooga 91, Cask 111, and 99 Rye, the trifecta for any game day tailgate. There's no better way to celebrate a win than with the world's best craft producer of the year, awarded by Whiskey Magazine. So get the W this weekend. Drink Chattanooga Whiskey, enjoy responsibly.
Hey sports fans, this is Hayes Carline from MyBookie. Look, as a bettor, you demand perfection, and MyBookie delivers. NFL, college football, and a brand new cash-out system. It gives you options to bet and win all season long. If the first 2 legs of your parlay hit, cash out early and use the funds on another bet, or let it ride for a chance at a bigger payday. Join the MyBookie family for an entire season filled with odds boosts, free bets, and super contests. This is the best time of year to get your bets in and start the football season off with some winners. To get started, go to mybookie.ag now and register for an account free. When you're ready to make your first deposit, just use promo code 1010XL to grab a welcome bonus on the house. That's promo code 1010XL to claim your deposit bonus and for a limited time, a free chip to use in the MyBookie casino. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie.
Hey Jacksonville, this is 17-time PGA Tour winner Jim Furyk inviting you to join me and the legends of the PGA Tour for the 3rd annual Constellation Furyk and Friends presented by Circle K, October 2 through 8 at Timaquana Country Club. Public parking is free, along with complimentary tournament access for our military, courtesy of ViStar Credit Union. Go to Ticketmaster to get your tickets today, and if you're not traveling to London, but watch the Jags this fall, join us Sunday morning in the Publix Tailgate Village to catch the game on the big screen. For more information, visit ConstellationFurykandFriends.com.
Watching a Gator game can bring you tears of joy and sorrow. I'm Hayes Carline. My instant reaction is brought to you by 5 Star Pizza, bigger, better, faster pizza on 1010XL social channels.
With roofers knocking on your door every week after a storm, you may not know who to trust with a home improvement repair. You need a company that's fully licensed and doing it the right way. All Pro Roofing will professionally assess your needed repairs for roofs, windows, doors, and exteriors. If you think you may need repairs after a storm, call All Pro Roofing Windows and Exteriors. allproRoofingLLC.com. License number CCC 1327056, CBC 060138.
Hey, Matt Hayes here. Expert Automotive is now open at our brand new state-of-the-art facility on St. John's Bluff Road. As always, every repair comes with a lifetime service repair warranty. Come celebrate our grand reopening by getting a free AC inspection, $50 off any repair, $199 brake specials, and free diagnostics all month long. Call 374-3373 or visit us at our new location at 2190 St. John's Bluff Road. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jeweler for 45 years with GIA-certified diamonds and gemstones, fashion jewelry in gold, and the latest styles. Also know that we have a full-service jewelry repair and restoration department, and our jewelers can get most repairs done in a couple of days. If you need a ring-sized or stone replaced or chain repaired, we can do it. Monahan's also buys gold and diamonds, so bring those in and we'll pay you top dollar. And remember, we can finish most jewelry repairs in a day or two. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Did you know that many cooling companies are now part of big conglomerates with no connection to Northeast Florida? In the past, they have concentrated on heating and air conditioning, but after a buyout, many add plumbing and electrical services. This raises their overhead, and those costs are passed on to the consumer. It's a case where bigger isn't better, it's just more expensive. Not Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Mike Merritt remains family-owned and operated. Merritt's focus has been the same for more than 30 years, keeping Northeast Florida comfortable, no matter what the weather. And there are no overtime or weekend surcharges. Mike Merritt's team does not work on commission. They repair only what needs repair and offer replacements only on what can't be fixed. And unlike at giant corporations where you can feel like just another number, with Mike Merritt, you'll feel like number one. Florida license CACO 50384.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey everyone, it's football season and we wanted to go to the drawing board to make this year's predictions. Let's compare our two long-haired blonde all-stars. Most touchdowns, best pricing in the market, most passing yards, pays the most for your trade, most receptions, free oil changes with every purchase, Super Bowl champion, wow customer service. I think we can make all this happen. Come see Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, where you can score big all season long.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Let's ring up another guest on the All Pro Roofing phone line.
Huge party going on right now at Mellow Mushroom. Are you kidding me? 2 tickets. Thank you to Miller Lite. The Miller Lite girls are here, too, and they're actually handing out samples of Miller Lite, which to me is kind of like, vanilla or chocolate ice cream. Who hasn't tried a Miller Lite in your day? But you can come on by here and try one. $4 pints as well. And, of course, the most important thing, the Miller Lite girls have provided 2 tickets for the game on Sunday between your Jaguars and the Kansas City Chiefs. Dave Campo in a little bit. We'll talk with starting left guard Ben Barch. We'll also head out to Las Vegas and check the money with our good friend Rafael Esparza. But right now, nothing is bigger than Tim Brando, particularly when it's Tim Brando en route to Houston, as he's got a huge one at 8 o'clock on Saturday night. It's TCU, it's Houston, Tim Brando on Fox, his weekly visit. Timmy B, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Greetings from the Loves just outside Lufkin, while a frog strangler, oh boy, a frog strangler is hitting South Central Texas. I had to pull off because it was definitely 2 hands on the wheel type, that kind of downpour. You're accustomed to that in Jacksonville, I know. So, I said, I got to take care of Ballou. So, and I love the coffee at Love's, by the way. So I said, you know what, I'm going to pull off so I can give all my attention to you and the great people at 1010XL in Jacksonville.
How great is Tim Brando? He joins us before a Friday night at Sparty, where he's got to do a game for 3.5 hours. He actually pulls over to talk to the good folks in Jacksonville right here on this Thursday. Let's begin with your game. It should be a really intriguing one here. TCU in Houston, a lot of points expected on Saturday night.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I think this is a much better game. I know a lot of people down there probably all pumped up about Tennessee and Florida, but honestly, I don't think the game will be between Tennessee and Florida that Chris and Kirk will have. I don't think it'll be as entertaining as our game. I really don't. I think we got a track meet, and I think, honestly, Tennessee just may completely wipe the floor with Florida. Florida, to me, looks like they're in trouble. And I'm concerned about my man Billy Napier because I like him. I think he will get it done eventually. But right now, they just do not have what you have to compete with a team like Tennessee, Rick. We've got a game with 2 coaches, really, that are probably thinking we can't lose. If we want to factor in the Big 12, Dana Holgerson's got a huge contract. He got it when he came to coach at Houston, left a Power 5 job at West Virginia in the Big 12 to come to Houston. Tillman Fertitta unloaded his pocketbook, gave him major dollars. I'm talking, $5-6 million for an American Conference job, which is what he had, which is what it was at the time, was a hell of a deal. Well, now they're stepping up fast, going into the Big 12. They dropped the game to Rice that was inexcusable last week. Spotting them 28 points, coming back, taking the game into overtime with 40-plus, and lost on a 2-point conversion. And, TCU, this is a team that got all the way to the finals a year ago. They were America's darlings out of the Big 12, but they got hammered in the championship game by Georgia. And since then, their defense has yielded 40-plus points to Deion and Colorado to start the season. Now, they beat Nicholls State last week, but, that's not going to turn any heads in Fort Worth. Sonny Dykes has got to right the ship, and that means don't go to Houston and lose to a team that's playing in their first ever Big 12 game. So both of these coaches know they've got to have it if they want to be the kind of relevant team that they want to be in the Big 12. And I think Houston's a little outmanned right now. TCU will be able to handle them. But I think it's going to be a track meet because right now TCU's without a lot of their starters on defense. And I think that was the reason why Colorado was able to get out of there with a win. The Horned Frogs offense is great. Chad Morris's son Chandler is every bit as good as Max Duggan, and his receivers are really good too. So we may have one of those first 1 to 50 games, and I think Tennessee's going to throttle Florida pretty well in the game opposite us on ABC.
Big 12 matchup coming up Saturday night on Fox Sports. TCU and Houston. That'll be at Fox on Fox at 8 o'clock. Tim Brando will have that call. All right, let's talk about the game in the Swamp. And, you and I for years have talked about this. Before last season, Florida had knocked off Tennessee 16 out of 17 times. It's now 16 out of 18. But the major storyline for Tennessee, in my opinion, they still haven't won in the Swamp since 2003.
Right. Yeah. Which makes it hard to believe that I'm sitting here telling you that I think they're going to blow out Florida. But I feel that way. I think that, Milton's got it going on. His receivers are pretty good. And I just don't know that Florida's got an identity yet, with Richardson gone. I mean, that was the identity. And they got to find a way. I'm just not sold on Mertz, being the guy. And I think that they thought they had their guy. And at this point, it hasn't happened. And, Florida does not have the personnel right now that it once did during this run of dominance, particularly in the Swamp, against the Volunteers. And I know it's lasted a long time. That's one of the reasons why I think Tennessee's going to be so driven in this game, because this is an easy one to motivate the team by. Josh Heupel can come into his guys, regardless of how good he thinks they are, and say, you realize what this team has done to you? I mean, it's easy. Billy Nature's got an uphill battle that we all know exists in terms of trying to get the program back. But no one's going to feel sorry for Florida, okay? And if you did feel sorry for Florida, all you had to do was watch Swamp Kings on Netflix to further piss you off at Florida's past if you're the opposing team. And I guarantee you Tennessee's one of those teams that feels that way. I just think that this game could be very, very quickly lopsided. I may be wrong, Rick. I've been wrong before, but that's how I see it.
Yeah. Tim, this game obviously is not going to be played in a phone booth. There's way too much speed on both sides. But, all this Joe Milton talk, a 6-year senior, Tennessee's only completed two plays so far of 20 yards or more. And last week, more than half of Milton's 21 completions were behind the line of scrimmage. So what do you make of this offensive attack with Josh Heupel and Joe Milton on Saturday?
Well, it's not unlike really what Josh was doing as a player in the very beginning when Mike Leach took over, and they turned, sweeps into passing plays by these little quick pitches that are, go in as passing yardage, but it's really yards after the catch in their offense. It's more of a run play than it is a passing play, and that's what they've been doing. Listen, he does not have, and Milton, in my opinion, is not the vertical, throw the ball in the seam type of quarterback that Hendon Hooker was. But he is very efficient, and I think he does play within the confines of his own capabilities. And this is an offense now, going back to when Josh was playing for Leach, and to some extent when Sam Bradford was quarterbacking at Oklahoma, that team that lost to Florida in the national championship game back in 2008. When you think about that, they did a lot of underneath passing routes back in those days. And I think that this is similar to what Tennessee is doing right now. Yeah, it's spread out. They're beating you with formation because they're forcing the defense to defend the width and the depth of the field. But they're not really getting vertical as much. The question becomes, can Florida's secondary, which in my opinion is not as great as it used to be, can they make tackles in space? You talk to these coaches now, Rick, and every week I do, and we see a lot of spread offense. The one thing that all the coaches say, especially early in the season, is we're going to put pressure on their perimeter to make tackles in space. And because right now, these guys, they're coming out in shells most of the week. They're not getting nearly the contact in practice that they once did. And so that part of the very fundamentals of what secondaries used to have to be effective are not what they used to be, especially if you're young back there. So that's why, I believe Josh feels like that he doesn't have to throw the ball vertical necessarily in order to be effective against this defense.
Yeah. Our weekly conversation with Tim Brando of Fox Sports. He has TCU at Houston coming up on Fox Saturday night at 8 o'clock. We're talking about Tennessee as they invade Florida. We'll have that game on our airwaves, 1010 on the AM, 92.5 on the FM. Timmy, can Florida, if they're down a possession, can they stay patient in this game? They only had 13 yards rushing net against Utah, and I know the sample size for Napier is not lengthy. I mean, but in his short tenure, the 5 times that Florida quarterbacks have thrown the ball 30 times or more, Florida has lost. So this game sets up for stay calm, can you run the ball, and Florida win in a lower scoring game. Any chance of that happening?
Well, I mean, if they had the kind of backs that you felt comfortable with, that you could have confidence in. Listen, at Louisiana, when he had that one-loss team, and matter of fact, the only loss was to Texas in a game to open the season that Spencer and I had. They were ranked in the top 25 that year. He had 2 guys that were outstanding backs, and one of them was a returning 1,000-yard rusher. That's where Florida's got to get well for Billy Napier's offense to what it needs to be to take some of the pressure off the quarterback. I think they've got the speed, but do they have the playmakers? And do they have an offensive line that can adequately run block? Okay, he's trying to get the personnel to match up with his style, when in fact his style right now doesn't match with the personnel he has. That's why, I still remain a Billy Napier proponent. I think that for the long haul, the SEC still is not necessarily this year, but because their record non-conference would prove me otherwise. They're struggling as a conference in non-conference games, particularly against ranked opponents. Part of the reason for that is they're getting beaten up on the line of scrimmage. Even the really good teams, like Alabama last week with Texas. Texas manhandled them on the line of scrimmage. Florida needs to be better at the line of scrimmage and run the ball effectively between the tackles. You've got to be able to do that even when your formation is spread. I think Billy will get there. I just think he's going to have another year of recruiting, and he's going to have to be a more aggressive coach when it comes to the transfer portal. And I mean really aggressive in the transfer portal. You watch what's happening right now, Rick, with Clemson, with Dabo Swinney. What's the biggest issue that they have right now? They don't go to the portal at all.
It's amazing.
And they got quarterback problems, and they've got running back problems.
Yep.
Okay, you're not going to get service at the end every year, even if you're Clemson. Well, you got to, in today's time, if coaches, even at the great programs, aren't going after the best players in the portal that they can find, then they're allowing people to catch up to them. That's why I think we're seeing more parity in college football as we move into this next wave. If you look at the success of Deion, that whole team's about the transfer portal. Whole team is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think coaches need to, even the hard-headed ones that have been around a long while and have done it their way. Right now, the only coach that's getting away with not going to the portal is Kirby Smart. And when you're number one in recruiting every year, I guess maybe you can get away with that. But even at some point, I think Kirby's going to have to do it too.
Yeah, and that's the way it is. I mean, we saw it with Texas this past Saturday night against Alabama. Heck, my alma mater has done a phenomenal job in the transfer portal the last several years. All right, the streak is on the line, and if there's a streak on the line, we know one thing. That is Brother Bino is going to be in the swamp on Saturday nights.
Unbelievable, Brando. What do you think about Spurrier and how he used to take care of Homer? You can't spell citrus without UT. Well, at this stage, Florida just hopes to get close to citrus in a bowl game at all because Tennessee went big, really big.
And as always, let's wrap with the weekly Tim Brando. Flying the ointment game, please.
I'd love to tell you that my Warhawks, who, by the way, got the job done, flying the ointment has worked now, 2 consecutive wins with ULM. Can they cover against Texas A&M? Remember, Jimbo Fisher is Terry Bowden's first quarterback. his very first quarterback at Winston-Salem State. And he took him with him to Stanford University, where he finished up his collegiate career as a quarterback. And, of course, he was your offensive coordinator at Florida State with Bobby Bowden after he helped Nick Saban to a national title and a SEC championship in 01 and 03. So, Jimbo's under the gun, too, isn't he not? I mean, he better roll it up. A&M had better blow out ULM. I don't think that they can cover, though, Rick. I don't. I think the Warhawks cover in this game. So I'm going for the third straight time with the alma mater, not to win, although they are 2-0 for the first time in a long, long while, having beaten Army and Lamar. But I think they will cover the number against the Aggies. I think the Aggies bettors will be gigged, even if their team isn't.
There you go. Back on the Warhawks for the Fly in the Ointment game with Tim Brando. Tim, get back on the road. Drive safe. Both hands on the steering wheel. And we'll look forward to listening to you Saturday night on Fox at 8 o'clock. Houston hosting TCU. Thank you.
Hey, I'm seeing a rainbow now. It's cleared up just after I talked to Ballou in lovely Jacksonville, not far from Ponte Vedra. Love you, man. Be well.
I love you too, Tim Brando. Thank you very much. There he goes. How about him pulling over? That's to talk to you. Okay, college football audience, that is. 1010XL and 92.5 FM. We are going to shift back to the Jaguars here in just a couple of moments. We're going to talk with Dave Campo. This really is a huge game for Florida. And, you know, Muschamp was a disaster, but, you know, McElwain won, and he took the team to Atlanta. Yeah, they got slaughtered by a Western opponent, but he got there. And then Mullen came so close, right? So close. And they left it all on the field against Bama, and then he and his players quit against Oklahoma, and the comments that he made, I think, were unforgivable. And now all of a sudden you got the Napier deal, and I'm getting it everywhere, okay? Oh, this is our version of Willie Taggart. And I honestly do not know what to make out of this for Billy Napier. But he could silence everyone by getting his team ready to play a game and to knock off Tennessee on Saturday night. JJ and I will make our picks on Friday, so actually, I'll come right out and tell you right now. I don't care. I'm going to pick Tennessee in this game. But I say it, you know, with complete understanding. They haven't won there since 2003. And, you know, as I said at the very beginning of the show, you can look at Georgia, Florida State, Florida, and Miami, and during their up times and their really, really bad times, there was never, valleys like that. Florida State and Florida and Miami, when they play each other, and I know the Florida-Miami series hasn't been yearly, but look at it. There may have been times where one of the schools had won 4 in a row or, 5 of 6, but nothing like 16 out of 17 that Tennessee has done with Florida on the losing end. Now it's 16 of 18. Still last year. I mean, they gave up 453 yards passing to Anthony Richardson. They allowed 33 points. They had that game in hand, and how did it end? With Richardson throwing a ball into the end zone or out of the end zone with a chance to win it, where they were clearly the better team. So, hey, that's why you play the game. It's going to be a lot of fun watching that one coming up on Saturday night. All right, when we do return, let's grab a couple of your thoughts on the text line. If you want to get on in, you can. 641-1010. That's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. And as well, come on by here to Mellow Mushroom in Bartram. It's our Miller Lite party. We have $4 Miller Lite pints. We have the Miller Lite girls here handing out all sorts of great Miller Lite swag. Also, register to win 2 tickets for the game on Sunday between the Jaguars and the Chiefs. Compliments of the good folks at Miller Lite. We got much more to do with you tonight till 8 o'clock.
Share your life with 1010XL. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Oh, wait. I'm going to take a picture and post it on Facebook.
What?
Hashtag
1010XL.
Key Buick GMC received up to $10,000 on select new GMCs. Receive special financing on GMCs. Rates as low as 0.9% for 36 months, or 3.1% for 60 months, even 5.1% APR for 72 months. Key Buick GMC always comes with the powertrain warranty when you buy a new vehicle, and always has the powertrain warranty. Across the street from Tinseltown, Southside and Gate, Key Buick GMC.
Are you still feeling the heat this summer? Looking to keep your cool? Look no further than Lloyd's Heating and Air. At Lloyd's Heating and Air, we're your go-to experts for all things HVAC. Whether you're building a new home, need a brand new AC installation, or just want to make sure your current system is running at peak performance, we've got you covered. Our skilled team specializes in new construction HVAC, making sure your home or business is comfortable from the moment you step inside. LloydsHeatingandAir.com. CMC 1249834.
Whether you are looking for a job or an employer trying to hire, there's only one stop in Jacksonville, Remedy Staffing. Labor trends keep us guessing. As employers, the job market has been strong. So what does that mean for workers' availability? If you're interested in the workforce solutions or how the Remedy team can help you, call or text Crystal at 904-329-9802. 329-9802, Remedy Staffing.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 14, 1986, Bears running back Walter Payton scores 100th career rushing touchdown and gains 177 yards in the win over the Eagles.
Mike Dempsey here. Football is back, and there's no better way to get in on the action than with Underdog Fantasy and their pick'em game. Just pick between 2 to 5 players, select whether they'll go higher or lower on one of their stats, then do what you usually spend kickoff night doing, watching the game. You can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. It's a fantasy game, but you can win real money. And it's fun and completely legal in Florida. So head over to their easy-to-use mobile app or website. Sign up with promo code 1010XL, and not only will Underdog double your first deposit of up to $100, they'll also have a mystery special pick live in their Pick'em lobby for new customers. Remember, that's Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code 1010XL and make your first deposit of $10 or more to get that deposit doubled and find your special pick higher than 1/2 yard in the Pick'em lobby. You must be 18 or older and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ncpgambling.org.
Hey folks, you know you want shark coatings, and the time is now. So close your eyes and let's imagine your garage. Wait, if you're driving, please don't close your eyes. Just wait till you get home. The rest of you see those cracks, the stains? It looks dark, dull, and dreary. It's nothing you're proud of. It's your house junk drawer. Now, see your floor with shark coatings. It's bright, it's durable, it's fresh. Since it's non-porous, it will be so much easier to clean. Don't imagine your garage, driveway, porch, or pool deck this way. Get with shark coatings and have a brand new space with new possibilities.
Time now for a medical recap. A health and wellness tip from Jaguars head team physician Dr. Kevin Kaplan.
Strength and resistance training are some of the best forms of exercise you can do to strengthen your muscles and improve your body composition. It may also lead to important improvements in metabolic health, meaning your blood sugar levels are easier to manage, and it also increases how many calories you burn at rest. The Physical Activity Guidelines for Americans recommends resistance training twice per week in addition to cardio training. Let's get fit, Jacksonville.
Where on your body is the weenus? The answer next.
When you call Southern Oak and file a claim, you'll be handled by our hand-picked vendors who will analyze any roof, storm, or water damage. It'll save money for you.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The weenus is your elbow skin and can be pinched as hard as you want, and it will never cause pain.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
The experts at AMCO have been fixing cars for almost 60 years. Over that time, they've gotten more complex than ever. That's why our techs undergo rigorous training and certifications. so they can fix anything, including the most complicated repairs that come with some of the latest technologies. After 60 years, there's nothing we haven't seen or fixed. It's how we know cars inside and out.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, the matchup is Sunday at 1 o'clock. They finally will open the bank, and the Jaguars will have consecutive home games, and they'll be on the road for quite some time. So I don't think it's going to be as hot as we expected here on Sunday. I guess a 40% chance of rain, but that is always subject to change. The Jaguars haven't defeated the Chiefs in 2009. They're 0 for their last 7 against Kansas City. And, you know, you look at these trends. Peterson 0 for 3 against Andy Reid. Trevor Lawrence 0-2 against Patrick Mahomes. How much does that matter? Maybe last year's game somewhat, but certainly 7 in a row. And it's been a big deal about how Tennessee hasn't won in the Swamp since 2003. How much do these streaks or rivalries, even though I don't think the game on Sunday between Jacksonville and Kansas City is a rivalry yet, right? I mean, Jacksonville has to win in order to make it a rivalry. You know, I grew up in Boston, where arguably the greatest rivalry in the history of sports is Red Sox-Yankees. And for years and years and years and years, when it really mattered, the Yankees always won. How is that one of the greatest rivalries in sports if it was a hammer-nail type of relationship? Obviously, that did change, thankfully, for the Old Town team. We say goodbye today to their president, Chase Bloom, out. The wicked smart guy said goodbye today by that Old Town team. All right, let me give you this before we bring in Dave Campo, because this is what is most important right now for the Jaguars. It's their health, okay? Both the young defensive backs didn't work again today. Safe to say that Antonio Johnson and Gregory Jr. with hamstrings are not going to be available for this game. As a matter of fact, a lot of people believe Antonio Johnson is probably out for at least the remainder of September. The good news today was the 3 other players who didn't work on Wednesday were limited today. Actually, check that. Tyler Lacey with his hip was limited yesterday. He was limited today. And I, for one, would like to see him on the field getting some snaps Sunday against Patrick Mahomes. The good news, though, is with the interior, and that is Brandon Sheriff and Luke Fortner, both dealing with ankles. Didn't practice Wednesday, both limited today, so an upgrade there. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I still think we won't know about these two until 90 minutes before kick, so that'll be at 11:30 on Sunday. Right now, if I was a betting man, Luke Fortner plays Sunday. Brandon Sheriff does not play on Sunday. I don't know that. That is just a guess. Clyde Edwards-Helaire didn't practice yesterday. He was ill. He returned today and worked in full. Tell you what, kind of lost in all this against Detroit was the fact that Kansas City could not run the ball at all. Edwards-Helaire, 6 carries, 22 yards. Pacheco, 8 carries, 23 yards. I mean, you're getting 45 yards out of both backs. If those are the numbers, and I'm going to ask Dave Campo about this in just a couple of moments, but if Jacksonville can make Kansas City one-dimensional, you got to love their chances to pull off the home upset in this game. A couple of other notables, as expected, limited in practice. Today continued for both Travis Kelce and Chris Jones. We do know that Chris Jones is going to play on Sunday. We do not know that Travis Kelce is going to play, but it appears as though he is trending in that direction. Also, one of their starting corners, L'Jarius Sneed, with a knee, was limited. Everyone else that came in on the injury report, and I'll give you both wide receivers, Kadarius Toney and Richie James, as well as defensive back Nick Jones and defensive tackle Tershawn Wharton. They're all on the injury report, but they all did practice in full. So they will be expected to be able to play in this game coming up Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, we got much more to do. We get another whole hour coming up. And we're going to hear from Dave Campo at the top. Looking forward to this conversation to really look at slowing down Patrick Mahomes. And 20 receptions, 185 yards, touchdowns last year, Travis Kelce. Can you defend him? Or is it one of those deals where he's so good that, you're going to give up 10 receptions a game, but can you hold him to 6, 7, 8-yard receptions as opposed to, a couple of long ones that end up becoming touchdowns? You don't often talk about that when it's a tight end. I mean, back in the running era, we talk about that with backs, and we get into that now with quarterbacks and wide receivers. It's not all that often where you discuss things in that particular way when talking about a tight end, but that comes into fruition now with Travis Kelce. So we'll do that with Dave Campo coming up at 7 o'clock. Going to talk with Ben Barch, starting left guard, and we're going to go to Las Vegas to chime in with Rafael Esparza. We'll check the money on the Jaguars. Also check the money on Florida State in the Hurricane in Boston on Saturday, as well as Florida playing host to Tennessee. Hey, you can hear the crowd. This place is busy, and we invite you to come on by. They are here. They're drinking Miller Lite because it's a Miller Lite party, but they're here for these tickets, which I'm going to announce later in the 7 o'clock hour. I have 2 seats for the Jaguars matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs. Thank you to Miller Lite. Miller Lite girls are here, handing out swag as well. We also have $4 Miller Lite pints. So come on by, say hello. We're at Mellow Mushroom in Bartram. Dave Campo is coming up to begin the 7 o'clock hour. He goes into the night with Rick Ballou.
4 quarters are good. A fifth is better. It's the window world of Northeast Florida fifth quarter from 9 Ball Habit. 2 hours after the final whistle on game day. Brought to you by Osteen, Volvo, and Volkswagen. And Dr. George Barry and Barry Orthopedics.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey everyone, it's football season and we wanted to go to the drawing board to make this year's predictions. Let's compare our 2 long-haired blonde all-stars. Most touchdowns, best pricing in the market, most passing yards, pays the most for your trade, most receptions, free oil changes with every purchase, Super Bowl champion, wow, customer service. I think we can make all this happen. Come see Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, where you can score big all season long.
Taylor Dahl here for Renewal by Anderson. Are you ready to upgrade your home? Experience the winning combination of style and performance. For a limited time, buy one window or patio door, get one 40% off. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Offer expires September 30th. Restrictions apply. Renewal by Anderson, proud to be the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists is holding their annual Bumps and Bruises clinics every Saturday morning through early November. These injury evaluations are absolutely free and open to every school and athletic program. So see us this Saturday morning at 3 North Florida locations from 9 to 10. The Brooks Center for Sports Therapy inside the YMCA. Preferred Physical Therapy, Fleming Island. And at Atlas Physical Therapy in St. Johns County.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Looking for the best deal on your next set of tires? Tire Outlet never falls flat. We offer the best selection, best quality, and the best prices on tires so that you can find the right ones for your vehicle. And with over 40 years of experience, 15 locations across Florida, and a legendary price match guarantee, you can trust that your vehicle is in great hands. Our skilled technicians are ready to maintain and repair your vehicle to keep it operating its best. Tire Outlet, wholesale prices, premium service.
Tire Outlet.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
It's raining in Austin. We're back on All-Star Sports Radio. Celebrating their 30th year, our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is going big.
That's right, Austin. Sports bettors can win a new truck, get the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus, and even get up to 30 risk-free bets.
Touchdown. BetUS also has a 150% casino sign-up bonus.
Blackjack, now you're talking, Austin. They also have live dealers and live betting on sports, including racetrack.
Get started today at BetUS.com, where the game begins.
Did you know that all graduates of Local 234's apprenticeship program are licensed journeymen? That means all plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC techs will have hundreds of hours of experience and have passed the Jacksonville City Licensed Journeyman exam. They're the best trained and safest skilled tradespeople in the industry. Don't leave yourself exposed to inadequate workmanship or even danger. Always hire a licensed journeyman. Local 234. Make the right connection. Equal opportunity employer.
The best golfing weather of the year is upon us now, so be sure and book your tee time at one of the most unique and beautiful golf courses in North Florida. Visit HiddenHillsGC.com for the best rates.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE, the medical providers at Prime Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most advanced treatments to eliminate ED and PE. 98% of men experience instant results on their first office visit. They're even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Don't just take our word for it. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now for our limited time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
That's Mike saying good morning. It's the best he can do right now. Yeah, not a cloud in the sky. What Mike could use is a fresh start. And Irish Spring Body Wash. The fresh scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset Mike needs. Now he's ready
To go to work.
It's Sunday. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring today.
Players Grill Oakleaf is now open for business. Grab the family and get to Players Grill Oakleaf off of Oakleaf Plantation Parkway and try the best tasting wings you've ever had. Players Grill, where the neighborhood meets.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
7 o'clock in Jacksonville. We're at Mellow Mushroom in Bartram. The Miller Lite Party continues, giving away 2 tickets for the game Sunday between the Jaguars and the Chiefs. Come on by here and register. We have the Miller Lite girls here as well, handing out all sorts of swag and $4 pints of Miller Lite. Great crowd on hand. Phenomenal crowds. Come on by, register, and try to win these tickets. And again, we'll do that at some point later this hour. Right now, let's talk Jaguars football. Always a pleasure to bring in the former head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Dave Campo goes into the night with Rick Ballou. Coach, how you been?
I'm doing great, Rick. And let me just say one thing. I'm one of the 99% of the people that listen to you that know that you mean no ill will towards anyone.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a miss, and I was the sideline reporter when Clark landed on Foles. And they had just come up with that rule about, you can sack a quarterback, but you can't put your complete body weight on the quarterback. And I went and asked the referee at halftime in the tunnel. I didn't find out until after the fact that I wasn't allowed to ask the referee in the tunnel, and I was reprimanded for it. But, my point was kind of KC a little dirty here on that side of the football. But, yeah, instead some fans think I'm trying to wish injury on Trevor Lawrence, which to me is incredible. But anyway, yeah, I appreciate that. Let's let's get straight to this game. And Coach, first things first, what did you make of the offensive line? They have 2 new tackles, and everyone, the whole Jawan Taylor now is in cyberspace, although we have been aware of it here for 4 years. But what did you make of that offensive line that didn't allow a sack, but they allowed nearly 50% of pressures on dropbacks, and their 2 backs couldn't average more than 3.5 yards a carry?
Well, you're talking about our offensive line, right?
No, I'm talking about Kansas City's offensive line.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let me just say this about Kansas City's offensive line. I think the 2 tackles are susceptible to some big effort from our guys on the outside. I really think that they are okay. I think Jawan Taylor is okay, better against the run than he is the pass. The other tackle, I think we can do some things with him. So I'm counting on us being able to get something going in rushing the passer. But in the run game, I don't think that they executed the way that they're capable of. And when I say that, I think they've got 2, like you said, 2 really good backs. And I think they're going to have to get that going, or else we're going to get some pressure on Paul.
How much does last year come into play, including the playoff loss? And obviously both teams have changed personnel, as we just pointed out. Both, Orlando Brown is gone. Both their starting tackles from a year ago are gone for Kansas City. But when it comes to Patrick Mahomes, and when it comes to trying to find a way to at least slow down Travis Kelce, what changes from a year ago in both matchups to this Sunday?
Well, I think one of the things for sure with number one with Kelce, he may not be 100%, and again, he's better than a lot of people not at 100%. But I believe our underneath coverage, our linebackers are better suited to be in the right spots against him than we were a year ago, and to me that helps. But I think we have to pay a little bit more attention to him than we did a year ago. And that means that we probably have to drop a safety down on him some. We're not really a man-to-man team, but I think we will have to do it some to take care of him. So I think we're better suited to change coverages. I think we played cover 2 really well this past week. I think that's something that we're doing better this year. So that, from a confusion standpoint, put a little pressure on Mahomes as well. But I think we really have to pay attention to Kelce. But I'm more worried about Chris Jones, to be honest with you, than I am Kelce.
Well, that's interesting. Forever I've been told there's being in shape and then there's being in football shape. So what do you make of Chris Jones? I get he's a veteran. He'll be ready to play, but why are you more concerned with him than you are Travis Kelce?
Well, here's my feeling. When you look at these 2 clubs, I think we match up pretty well with them. And my concern, our defense is better than it was a year ago. But it's not a true shutdown defense, Rick. And so there's going to be some points scored probably in every game this year, although I think we'll get even better as the season goes on. But in my thinking, to beat these teams, and especially the good ones, we have to protect Trevor Lawrence, and we have to score some points. So my concern is a little bit with our interior people handling Chris Jones, even if he only plays 25 plays or 30 plays. I don't think their front 7 as a whole are as good as the team we just played. So we're going to have to be able to run the football some, which I believe we can do against that team. And we have to control Jones because he's the real sack master of that group.
Dave Campo, our guest, talking about the Jaguars. They do play host to the Kansas City Chiefs coming up at 1 o'clock on Sunday. All the coverage, keep it right here on 92.5 on the FM. That's really interesting. At times when you have a real dominant pass rusher, and he had 15 and a half sacks last year, but he's stout against the run as well. What is your belief in the philosophy, especially early, of running the football right at Chris Jones?
I think that's a good idea. I think his greatness, in a way, in my opinion, is being able to run things down, being able to slip blocks and run down the line of scrimmage and make plays. So I think you can really definitely do some things running at him. And hopefully Barch is going to be a little bit more physical in this game with his second game playing and hadn't played quite a bit prior to that. So, I think that's a good idea. I think if we run a little bit of tempo against him, to get him a little winded, I think that will help us as well. But, to me, we have to be able to run the ball to balance up. And I don't mean run it every play. I mean balance it up so that we can protect the quarterback.
I'm not as down as some are on Press Taylor and the way that he called plays on Sunday. The two things that I would have liked to have seen perhaps more of, or the one thing more of, is I wish they ran the ball a little bit more early in the game. And down in distance, that short stuff, going lateral to ETN on a pitch, and then throwing the ball to Evan Ingram at the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage on 4th and 1s. I don't like those plays. But what did you make of Press Taylor Sunday?
Well, I think he and Doug are on the same page, and they've been together for 7 years, so I think they think of each other similarly, in what they want to do. I thought they outthought themselves a little bit on those plays you're talking about. We should be able to come off the football and run the ball with the backs we have. I think they started off slow with it. The one thing I am happy with, though, is they didn't give it up. They didn't go away from it. In the second half, it actually helped us.
Talking with Dave Campo, joining us here. We're live from Mellow Mushroom out in Bartram. Place is packed, trying to win these 2 tickets for the game on Sunday between the Jaguars and the Kansas City Chiefs. I do want to backpedal just a little bit. You talk about adding a safety when it comes to Kelsey, and it's not too often that we talk about it's the tight end that you have to defend most. It's always a wide receiver or, a running back. But, if you were talking with Mike Caldwell, if you were talking with Bob Sutton, they said personnel-wise, what's the best way to slow down Travis Kelsey? What would you do personnel-wise?
Well, I would have to play a little bit of man coverage with him, and that's a little dangerous because I think Mahomes does a really good job more so against man than he does zone. But if you got a guy like Cisco, which I believe can cover, I would drop him down, and then at times I would play the what we called one hole, which was man free, with one of the linebackers kind of sitting in the hole and looking for inside crossing routes from the tight end or the slot. That's one of the things they can do without necessarily just doubling Kelsey, because I don't know that you can double Kelsey, or you can't really take the corner and put him on him all the time, because that makes it difficult for everybody else to get lined up. So, I think they just have to mix it up. Kelsey's going to get his, but just make sure you got enough guys around him that he doesn't break a 15 or a 20 or a 30-yard run. Make him catch the ball and just, tackle him. That's what we have to do in order for, I think, to hold him down.
Let's wrap it up with this. It felt like in the preseason, in practice and in preseason games, that this defense is going to be a little bit more aggressive. And, we saw some blitzes last week, particularly with Trey Herndon, who I must say played well. I'm not as excited as others on Trey Herndon, but the man played well. I've got to give him a lot of credit. Because Mahomes is so good, can you still blitz him on Sunday, or do you have to kind of play more of whatever your designed offense is scheduled to be?
Well, first of all, I don't think that you get very much good things coming from straight man blitzes with him, because he's good at seeing it and delivering the ball. But I do think the zone blitzes give you a little opportunity to make some things happen. And they did zone blitz this weekend. I was a little disappointed because I didn't think their linebacker discipline on those was good enough. I'm hopeful that another week they can clean up some of those kind of things. I think we will see pressure. I mean, I don't think there's any question we'll heat it up a little bit, and that helps against the run as well, because you've got extra guys coming inside. So, I plan to see a little bit more of it. I think it's a good thing.
All right, Dave, as always, whenever I have you on, I lie, because I have one other question. And I got to ask you as a head coach now. I mean, we've seen it forever with Juwan Taylor, but it felt like the NFL saw it for the first time a week ago tonight. If you were coaching in this game and you met with the officials pregame, what would you say to him, if anything, about Juwan Taylor leaving too early, and not only that, but lining up farther back than he is supposed to?
Well, the officials meet with the head coach prior to the ball game on both sides. And I'd say he cheats. I'd say he better watch it, because, he knows, first of all, he knows Josh Allen. So he's going to be on his horse a little bit to make sure Josh doesn't run around it. And so I would just tell him, hey, keep an eye on that guy who cheats.
Hey, I always learn a lot when I sit next to you in the press box, but I saw something that came out this week that I must have missed and I never heard before. Maybe you did, but apparently he was tipping some plays, and it was an obvious drop back. He was tapping his back foot. Were you aware of that with Juwan Taylor?
I didn't notice that necessarily, because I really didn't, I wasn't paying that much attention. But I will say that those are the kind of things that you're looking for. With an offensive lineman, whether his hand's heavy, if his hand's heavy on the ground, it's a running play. If it's light, he's going to drop, for a pass. Those kind of things they're looking at, I can promise you. If that's the case, that's a real good one for us, for sure.
No doubt about it. Hey, Dave, always a pleasure. Thank you as always. I'll see you Sunday at the game.
Looking forward to sitting next year and talking ball.
Yep, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Sunday at 1. He's the best, Dave Campo. Thank you. Yeah, that report came out. I mean, listen, I've heard of some stuff before with quarterbacks. I've heard it with skill position guys. I've heard tipping. Obviously the most that you ever hear about tipping is tipping pitches, right? And you do different things if it's a fastball or a slider or a curveball, whatever it may be. But when it comes to football, maybe a quarterback has his if he's a right, if he's a right-handed quarterback, maybe his right foot is a half step behind the left foot when he lines up in a passing situation. And running backs, maybe, but I haven't really heard it before with an offensive line. Maybe I've just been in another world. And we all witnessed Juwan Taylor for the last several years leaving early, but now it's kind of twofold that apparently he's not lining up. He's lining up too deep compared to what the NFL rule states. And, again, now reports are coming out that when it is a pass play, he was actually tapping his back foot right before the snap. So, very good coaching staff down the road. Got to believe that Mike Caldwell and Brinston Buckner and everyone else involved have certainly pointed that out to the Jaguars' defense, particularly the defensive line, for the game coming up on Sunday. All right, let's stay with the Jags. Let's catch up with Ben Barch. I met with him in the locker room yesterday, and it it was pretty interesting to get his opinion. That was the day that obviously Luke Jokel and as well Brendan Sheriff did not practice. They did practice today on a limited basis. So they're trending in a more positive way than they were one day ago. I want to come back and let you hear from Ben Barch. Two things. Number one, first of all, J.J. LaSalva, I miss you, man. I feel like this is your element. You should be here in this type of atmosphere. I know you love Miller Lite. I know you love Miller Lite swag. I've stolen some for you that I'm going to bring to you when I see you tomorrow. But how are you doing back in the studio?
I love pizza as well. I'm fine. I brought a banana. I'm good.
Let me guess. The studio's about 5 or 6 degrees warmer today. Would be gone?
It's 74. It's nice and warm. All the lights are off, and we're waiting for Hack to show up to turn it down to 68.
Yeah, there you go. He goes to 68?
I don't know what he does, but
I thought I was the lowest at the station. I usually go around 71 or 70. Anyway, here's JJ. Tomorrow we're on the air 3 to 6, okay? And that's going to be on the AM. It's going to be on our radio station, and it's going to be on the app 1010. That'll be tomorrow from 3 until 6. We're going to do it that way during the high school football season. Right now, however, we are in Bartram at the Mellow Mushroom. And we have $4 Miller Lite drafts. Okay, those are pints. We have the Miller Lite girls here handing out all sorts of great swag. And we're moments away. I'd say we're going to do it in the next 15, 20 minutes or so. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it off air. We'll have to see. But we're going to give away the 2 tickets for the game Sunday between the Jaguars and the Chiefs. You still have time to come on by here and register to win those tickets, compliments of Miller Lite. So we got much more to do. We're with you tonight till 8 o'clock right here on your home of the Jags.
Nothing came easy, and he wouldn't have it any other way.
It's blue-collar line of scrimmage football. I'm Tom McManus, and I join Jaguars Today Fridays from 10 to noon.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
This is Fast Twitch, a new energy drink from Gatorade.
Fast Twitch, an energy drink from Gatorade in 6 different flavors, including strawberry watermelon, cool blue, and tropical mango. And available at your local Winn-Dixie.
Start fast with Fast Twitch, a new energy drink from Gatorade.
On-the-go energy from Gatorade. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie.
There's something special about Napa Auto Care Centers. They're backed by the national power of Napa and a 24-month, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty. But more importantly, your Napa Auto Care Center is locally owned and operated by a strict written code of ethics. Put your vehicle in the hands of ASE-certified technicians you can trust. Find us at jacksnapaautocare.group.com. David Garrard Mondays on Jaguars Today are brought to you by Arlington Tire and Service Center and Monument Road Tire and Service.
Did you know the 2023 Honda CR-V Hybrid never needs to be plugged in? The onboard system charges the batteries for you. When you think Honda, think hybrid. Good for the environment, great for your budget. Visit your local Honda dealer to experience the CR-V of the future today.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball presented by FIS is home for the final weekend at 121 Financial Ballpark. It's Coors Light Thirsty Thursday tonight and Military Appreciation presented by Swisher. The first 2,000 fans get a free hat. Tomorrow is Red Shirt Friday and fireworks presented by Florida Blue and Firehouse Subs. Saturday is Fan Appreciation Night with a doubleheader and fireworks presented by 121 Financial and FIS.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists is holding their annual Bumps and Bruises clinics every Saturday morning through early November. These injury evaluations are absolutely free and open to every school and athletic program. So see us this Saturday morning at 3 North Florida locations from 9 to 10. The Brooks Center for Sports Therapy inside the YMCA. Preferred Physical Therapy, Fleming Island. And at Atlas Physical Therapy in St. Johns County.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Good people drink good beer, and great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mocama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mocama has the perfect fare for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mocama.
Mark Watson for Hardball Creative, letting you know that Hardball has cooler promotions, but some people call them ice chests. Either way, check out the items you can put your company logo on at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
At ABBQ, they are turning up the heat on game day with a spread that'll make your taste buds do a victory dance. Football and barbecue always play together. I'm talking mouthwatering wings, juicy burgers, and tantalizing appetizers that'll keep your hunger in check as you cheer for your team. Come for the food and football, and stay for the teal-colored Jell-O shots. Your destination for a mouthwatering barbecue and an unforgettable game day. ABBQ. Meet and drink with us.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, the Jaguars at home, Kansas City on the road. Cincinnati broke this a year ago by starting 0-2 and making the playoffs. The Bengals, of course, like the Bills and the Chiefs, 0-1 so far this year. But since the Super Bowl era, okay, teams who start with a record of 0-2 have a less than 10% chance of actually making it to the playoffs. I don't believe there's anything remotely close to being considered a must-win in Week 2 in the NFL, but if you look at it that way, there is an awful lot of pressure on the Chiefs to try to win this game. Ben Bartch, I'm going to get into him right here when I talked to him yesterday. Ben Bartch came back, played well last week. He may be the only fully healthy interior member of the interior offensive line that is coming up on game time on Sunday. And caught up with him right after practice on Wednesday. So let's take a look back at that conversation. Here's Ballou with Bartch. How did it go out there today on Wednesday?
It was a challenging practice, and we just need to keep working hard. Yeah. We got Luke and Brandon out today. Yeah. And, we're a unit that works hard, and so guys step up. We just got to keep on our preparation. So.
It's kind of crazy. All five of you guys, preseason and week one, every one of you has had an opportunity where you haven't been able to go at one point.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything like that?
Yeah, I think it just speaks kind of to the nature of the position. We're always got dings and boo-boos, and it's a very violent inside, so that's just kind of how it goes. can't really make any comment on it. I don't really know.
Yeah. DeForest last week, and now obviously Chris Jones signs yesterday.
Yeah.
So another awesome challenge for you guys coming
absolutely.
up on Sunday.
Yeah. We're just going to prepare, respect those players, where respect's due, and they're great, good players. But yeah, it doesn't change what we have to do as far as preparation, game planning, film, working hard, practice. So.
Coaches always say that you learn the most about a team and you can improve the most between week 1 and week 2. Well, you guys won by 10 points on the road. Do you sense that early on this week in practice, that some of the things that need to be cleaned up that you're doing as a group?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's our job. We make mistakes in games and go over them and fix them, and we won by 10 points, but there's a lot of stuff to work on, and so yeah, definitely.
Particularly in the fourth quarter, you guys really settled in. You were trailing, but settled in and began to really run the football. Every offensive lineman I've ever talked to loves to run the ball. What was that like at that point in the game to be able to do that?
We have exceptional guys in the backfield all across the board. So they made plays. We stuck it out and stayed with it. And it was just like a team effort, and I was really excited. It was awesome. So.
Preparation continues on the field and in the classroom, but what's it going to be like here Sunday at 1?
It's going to be electric. We're excited for everybody to come out. We're excited to be at home. So, yeah, we're really excited.
Ben, thanks for the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Rick.
I thought the guys battled for 4 quarters. They played hard. They played tough.
Now fires toward the end zone, back in the end zone. Caught for the touchdown! Calvin Ridley, his first score!
I had a couple explosive plays there and thought he really did a good job.
Not a surprise to me. He played great.
The Jags have stuffed them on 4th down for the 3rd time today.
Defense really kept us in the game.
Creating takeaways. They did that.
Intercepted by Tyson Campbell.
We pick each other up. We feed off one another. That's what makes teams great, and we got to continue to do that.
Next up, the Kansas City Chiefs.
We're going in the right direction. I want to play a meaningful game.
Sunday at 1 on the home of the Jaguars, 1010 XL.
Since 2014, there has been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality built homes and a speedy move-in process, we are in 20-plus communities in the best locations in Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit DreamfindersHomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Are you ready for the ultimate happy hour experience? Look no further than Bellwether, downtown's undisputed champion of good times. It's Tuesday through Saturday from 4 to 7 p, with the exception on Friday when happy hour starts at 11 a.m. Rally the team and head over to Bellwether. The vibe is full and the food is unbeatable. Free parking after 6 p on weekdays and all weekend. Bellwether Restaurant, where great food and the best happy hour in town come together for an epic win.
Wondering what you're going to do for dinner tonight? Southern Steer Butcher is a full-service butcher, and we grind and make sausage in-house every day.
Now open in Ortega. For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Malfunctions in your electrical panel can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving your home at risk. So leave it to the pros and Mr. Sparky.
8Sparky. Your on-time electrician, Mr. Sparky of the First Coast.
Coming face-to-face with nature can take your breath away.
Heart's gonna be pounding pretty good, I'd say.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Favor, and Captain Kirk Waltz. The Nimnicht Outdoor Show, presented by Duck Duck Rooter. Saturday morning 7 to 10 on 1010 XL.
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone.
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up AutoSave in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools. One bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
AutoSave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here. You've heard me talking about Pella Windows and Doors. With great ratings and expert reviews, you know they're high quality and energy efficient products. So what's your next step? Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or just stop by the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Their professional design consultants will guide you through your entire project from start to finish. And that's the quality and service you can expect from Pella Windows and Doors.
Money Pages is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. With 20 years of helping local businesses grow, Money Pages is Jacksonville's trusted multimedia leader. Money Pages has extensive experience in magazine publishing, direct mail, digital marketing, and branding. The Money Pages complete marketing system provides advertisers with integrated fulfillment to promote your business with multiple marketing channels. To learn more about advertising locally with a brand who knows Jacksonville, visit moneypages.com.
No dental insurance? No problem. Introducing the Care Plus program from the dental offices of Dr. James McCall. For only $625 per year, you will receive 2 cleanings and dental exams, a full set of x-rays, plus 1 emergency dental exam and x-ray. You'll also receive a 20% discount on all other services offered. Kids 12 and under will receive the same program for only $525. Call Dr. McCall today at 620-9225.
Lauren Brooks here. Tired of joint pain holding you back? Try BioTarget from Injury Care Centers. This treatment will prolong the life of your joints by targeting the root of your pain and delivering more regenerative cells to the affected area, ensuring faster and more effective healing, making BioTarget the most advanced regenerative treatment. For a limited time, BioTarget starts as low as $499. Call Injury Care Centers or visit gobiotarget.com. That's gobiotarget.com.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Here's your 1010XL First Coast Community Calendar.
See some great young fighters in action at the Jacks Police Athletic League Amateur Boxing Championships, Saturday, September 23rd at Julian Jackson Center on Monument Road.
The annual Knights of Columbus Hold'em for Life poker tournament is September 23rd at Blessed Trinity Parish Hall. All profits go to the Women's Help Center, supporting women in need, especially expectant mothers. To play or sponsor, call 868-8837.
To learn more about the Jericho School Golf Tournament and silent auction at Blue Sky Golf Club October 21st, visit thejerichoschool.org.
Make a difference on the golf course, playing one of the best tournaments and help make Jacksonville a safer place to live and raise our families. The First Coast Crime Stoppers Golf Tournament is October 23rd at Amelia River Club. Call 398-5883.
If you're involved in a community event and you'd like us to help spread the word, find out how at 1010XL.com.
This is your Mad Dad's Update with Chapter President Donald Ford. Mad Dad's is asking for good, committed men who want to be part of an organization that has been around for 17 years. We are a group that is part of the solution, not the problem. We are a group that don't stand around murmuring and complaining, but get into action and hit the streets to get the community to break the code of silence to remove the murderers off our streets. We do not require a lot of time, just willing and able bodies to get involved. We've had far too many murders this year already not to get involved. If you want to be part of this great organization, call 904-718-1649. We're looking for men, not men acting like boys. Hit me on Facebook and tell me what you think. For information about Mad Dad, go to Mad Dad's Jacksonville Chapter Facebook or MadDad'sJacksonville.com.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to shinatridc.com.
Players Grill Oakleaf is now open for business. Grab the family and get to Players Grill Oakleaf off of Oakleaf Plantation Parkway and try the best tasting wings you've ever had. Players Grill, where the neighborhood meets.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we've had a tiny little technical glitch here at Mellow Mushroom in Bartram, but it's okay. We have found a way to make it work. Let's go to Las Vegas. Let's bring in our good buddy, Rafael Esparza from MyBookie, mybookie.org. Rafael, how are you?
I am doing well. I bet you your technical glitch is not as bad as MGM Properties over in Las Vegas, their technical glitch.
No doubt, no doubt. Let's get straight to it. All this weather, hurricane reportedly headed towards Boston. It's an enormous line, 4 touchdowns. What do you make of BC hosting Florida State on Saturday?
Let's see, Florida State put up almost 70 points last week, and their offense looks really, really good. This total opened up at 56.5. You can tell weather's involved because now the total's 48. I would say probably stay away from this one because I think weather's going to be involved no matter what.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I've talked about it an awful lot this week. It's one of those games where you just hope those Florida State guys don't get injured in what could end up being brutal terrain. So I tend to agree with you. What about Saturday night? You know, all the history, all the streaks, the fact that Tennessee hasn't won in the Swamp in 9 consecutive times. You got to go back to 2003, the last time that they won a game there. How have things been at the window this week for Florida and Tennessee?
It's been Florida money because now it was 7 pretty much all week. Now it's Florida is +6 now. So we're beginning a lot of swamp money. And if you're the SEC, you need Florida to win this one. You don't need a Florida team to go 0-2 because you might lose an SEC team. UNLV might beat Vanderbilt. So it's a very big week for SEC. I think Florida in the swamp. I think they win this game.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised because of history. And again, if Florida can get some sort of a semblance when it comes to running the football against Tennessee and make it somewhat of a low-scoring game, I tend to agree with you. All right, let's get to the big one here on Sunday. Kansas City, a loser a week ago tonight. Kansas City comes to Jacksonville where in their last 7 meetings, the Chiefs and Jags, Kansas City's won all 7 of them, including 2 last year. What's the latest between the Chiefs and the Jaguars?
I am be praying to the gambling gods because I would love to see Kansas City go 0-2 because I think the NFL might close the doors and say, I'm sorry, Patrick Mahomes can't go 0-2. We're closing ship. I like Jacksonville. Give me the +3.5. Jacksonville's a tough place to play. We saw it last year. The crowd gets excited. We're going to see a ruckus crowd on this one. Give me the Jags plus the 3.5. I can't believe that half a hook is on this number.
When it comes to, winning the AFC or getting, playing and winning in the Super Bowl, I guess it's the same thing if you win the AFC. But how much have things changed with Kansas City, Cincinnati, and Buffalo all losing this past week, not to mention Aaron Rodgers gone for the year?
I think the Aaron Rodgers thing probably made the biggest difference. Buffalo usually lays an egg in weeks 1, 2, or 3. Kansas City, same thing. That was preseason week 4. Last week was preseason week 4. If KC goes down 0-2, if Buffalo loses this week, then you need to start worrying. But yeah, Jets pretty much fell off the face of the earth, and they're going to continue to fall. I mean, they're 9-point underdogs to Dallas. This number would have been 3 if Aaron Rodgers would have won that game and played and didn't get hurt. Dallas would have been a 3-point favorite.
Yeah, I noticed road favorites last week, or road teams in general, at 10-15. Then I guess it was 10-16 with Monday Night Football ended up going to the New York Jets on the punt return. All right, what else is going on right now at MyBookie, including, we're only a couple of weeks away from the start of the Major League Baseball playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I heard you're going to apply for that Boston Red Sox position that they have opening right now. But yeah, it's baseball playoffs is in full swing. My Cubs are still in a wild card. I can't wait to watch it. Who can beat the Atlanta Braves is going to be probably the biggest story in the Major League playoffs. Don't forget UFC this weekend, a great main event on there for championship women's bout. So don't forget to jump over to MyBookie, sign up today, win today.
Yeah, that bare knuckle stuff here on Friday. I'm guessing it drew 6,000 or 7,000. It was, I don't know, maybe it was 5. I'm not sure. I'm not good on that, but it was pretty interesting, particularly the Junior Dos Santos fight, who of course won that fight 15 years ago, and he won it. But man, that is gladiator stuff when they're fighting bare knuckle.
Yes, that was a couple of those fights. I should have been eating while I was watching them.
All right, tell us about MyBookie and what's the latest right now at mybookie.org.
Yeah, we're excited for college week. Great games in college football, great games on Sunday. And don't forget, not one but 2 Monday Night Football games, North Saints, Panthers, Browns, Pittsburgh.
All right, Raphael, as always, it is a pleasure. Appreciate your time. We'll catch up with you next week. Thanks.
Take it easy. Have a great weekend.
All right, there he goes, Raphael Esparza. He is with MyBookie and mybookie.org. All right, I'm waiting for it to get posted. Is the Miami game actually underway, JJ?
Yes, it's 7-0. Miami scored on the first drive. Doesn't look like Bethune's got much of a fight.
We've got Navy-Memphis up in front of me on 2 screens, and we have the NFL Network. Of course, we have an NFL game coming up tonight as well. And, that should be a fairly interesting game, but yet to get that Canes game up, so I'm going to have to holler at someone here in just a couple of minutes. We're kind of going old school with something happened here, technically speaking, so doing the remaining part of the program on the cell phone, which I know is kind of unusual, but that's the way we're doing it, trying to make things work here at Mellow Mushroom. It has been an unbelievable time, though. There's no doubt about it. I do want to thank everyone here from Miller Lite for sponsoring our party. We'll have 3 more of these coming up. We'll have one in October, November, as well as December. So we're going to do that, over the next 3 months. I'm also not going to do it on the cell phone. I'm going to do it during our next break, but we are going to announce the winner. And let me tell you, there's some people right now hovering over this Miller Lite bucket, trying to get the 2 tickets for the game coming up on Sunday between Jacksonville and Kansas City. All right, our final thoughts. Certainly want to get you caught up on the very latest. We do it every single night with our good folks over at Key Buick GMC.
Now, today's takeaways, brought to you by Key Buick GMC, where our family dealership has been helping families buy vehicles for over 50 years.
All right, Canes up 7-0 over Bethune. We have it up right now. Bethune-Cookman, 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. Miami's a team now that is in the top 25. Miami's a team that certainly did some great things a week ago against Texas A&M. And I think if you settle in and watch this game tonight, you can get a much better feel about Tyler Van Dyke and what Miami is able to do with this passing offense. I think the major question for the Canes, again, is still what are they able to do on the offensive and defensive line, but they get another opportunity here to get that much better against an inferior opponent. So the Canes 2-0 and at home tonight against Bethune-Cookman, again, just underway in the first quarter. The other big story of the day is improved health overall for the Jaguars. And even though they were limited today, when you look at Luke Fortner and the fact that he was able to turn around and give it a go, and you look at Brandon Sheriff and the fact that he was able to turn around and give it a go today, that is obviously really good news for the Jaguars. It was limited. Don't know what they'll do tomorrow on an obvious, kind of walkthrough day on Friday to get ready for this game on Sunday. Again, I don't know this for sure, but my guess is that Brandon Sheriff is not going to go on Sunday. That's just what my stomach is telling me. I think you're going to see that instead it is the veteran Tyler Shatley who draws that responsibility. Also, I think the center, Luke Fortner, does play in this game. So, it's not perfect, but it's better than it absolutely could be. You just heard from Ben Barch talking about how different it was in practice the other day, having two different guys, two backups in, even though Tyler Shatley seems like each and every week he's asked to do something. Each and every year he's asked to do something. And I do want to make this last point before we get an opportunity to talk with Hacker. All right? It's really the whole Chris Jones deal is fascinating to me because I've made a big point all week long about how many snaps is he going to be able to give you? How much is he going to be able to go out and perform for the Kansas City Chiefs against the Jaguars, where I thought last night John Osher made a really good point. Whether he plays 25 snaps or 35 snaps, if he creates havoc just a couple of times, then Kansas City gets what they needed out of him. And, it's a different way of looking at it, but I think it does make a lot of sense. I think, if he gets 2 sacks and he's able to get them late in the game and, they're big stops or they're a sack that forces a punt or, could absolutely even change a possession. Remember, Trevor Lawrence last year led the NFL with 12 fumbles. Trevor Lawrence last year led the NFL with 9 lost fumbles from the quarterback position. So that is one part of his game that certainly does need to improve, and they're going to move Chris Jones around an awful lot. But I think that's a big factor and something to really keep an eye on in this particular contest coming up on Sunday. On the other side with Travis Kelce, concerned about him? Well, you have to be. He's the best tight end in the NFL, but when it's all said and done, it's going to be pretty interesting to see what they do on the defensive side to try to slow him down. Dave Campo a little bit earlier told us that, in fact, they do believe that there will be some more man-to-man coverage and not as much blitzing, particularly man blitzing against Kansas City. Maybe you can do it from a zone blitz, and we saw a little bit of that coming up we saw a little bit of that last week, obviously, against Indianapolis, particularly by Trey Herndon. All right, we're getting set to bring in Hacker, and then we're going to wrap things up here from Mellow Mushroom. It's been a lot of fun. We've had Tim Brando joining us on the program. We've had Dave Campo. We've had Ben Barch. You just heard from Rafael Esparza a few moments ago, joined us live from Las Vegas. And I do want to thank the good folks here at Mellow Mushroom out in Bartram. What an unbelievable party. Thank you to Miller Lite as well. I will be I'll get one of the Miller Lite girls to pick out the tickets here in just a couple of minutes, the winner, and then you will get 2 tickets to that game between the Jags and the Chiefs.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Tire Outlet. Keeping the rubber on the road with wholesale prices and premium service. Tire Outlet, Jacksonville's largest locally owned automotive repair shop.
All right, Hacker, it's time for Hacker After Dark. How are things going for you?
Rick, we're good. We're good. Week 2 of the National Football League, moments away up in Philadelphia. And, of course, we got the big one here in Jacksonville on Sunday. And I got to tell you, man, I've been going back and forth all week with this game. But I've never been considered ultra-positive Jaguar guy, Rick. But, man, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I think Jacksonville's going to win the game on Sunday. I really do. I think they're going to win a close one, and I think we're going to be having a heck of a time on the 5th quarter Sunday evening.
Well, that would be the case if they are able to pull off this win. Jacksonville has won their last 5 at home when they are a home underdog. So obviously they were able to do that last year. So that's certainly a big time number. That's intriguing though. I've gone back and forth, and the one thing that really sticks out for me is Kansas City beginning the year 0-2. I think that for me is tough to swallow. But why you with Jacksonville? What's sticking out?
Yeah, I agree about the Chiefs starting 0-2. That's the one thing that gives me a little pause, a little trepidation. But to me, Rick, this game is not about Kansas City. This game is about Jacksonville. And I just think Jacksonville's good. I think they are a good football team. Do they have flaws? Yeah, but that offense, when it's clicking, it's going to be one of the best offenses in the league. I think Kansas City's going to score. I just think Jacksonville's going to score more.
What's coming up tonight, Hacker?
You mentioned Tyler Shatley. We actually are going to have Tyler Shatley on Hacker After Dark. Caught up with him in the Jaguar locker room. Also, defensive lineman Angelo Blackson makes his debut last week, recovers a fumble up in Indianapolis. So Shatley and Blackson. And we'll go to Knoxville. Let's not forget about Florida and Tennessee on Saturday night. The radio voice of the Tennessee Volunteers, Bob Kessling, will give us the Volunteers look coming to Gainesville on Saturday.
All right, Hack. Have a lot of fun. Enjoy the show tonight. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Rick.
All right, there he goes. That is Hacker Nation. All right, do want to thank everyone here. We made some changes on the fly, and we made it work. So do want to thank JJ back in the studio, Graham Marsh, our engineer here. Thank you to everyone at Mellow Mushroom. What a great time this was, especially to Miller Lite, the Miller Lite girls, for their hard work over the last couple of hours. Dave Campo, Ben Barch, Rafael Esparza, and Tim Brando. I'll announce the winner of the tickets to the game right here when we get off air. You have to be here anyway, so I guess it won't affect the listening audience. But to you folks listening, tomorrow, 3 to 6 on the AM. That's the radio station as well as the app. 3 to 6 on Friday, myself along with JJ. Have a great night. Enjoy the games. Listen to Hacker. Talk to you tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
The goal of the game is to score more points.
And he's in for the score!
And there's usually someone who helps make that happen.
Baby, what a catch!
Listen for the Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game on 1010XL.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine